But what we want to pay attention to is if we have students who are in any of those demographics in particular that we realize based on their grade 9 NJSLA data and or earlier that we can actually start compiling a portfolio assessment for them earlier. We don't have to wait till grade 11, and that way if they don't need it, great. Well, we already had it and it was good practice, but if they do need it, we've already started that process, so it makes senior year a little less stressful. They don't have to worry about making that up in senior year. So I think that's one important piece. When I just got the data that I can break down by student, so right now I'm in the process of putting that into a form where the ELA team members, the teachers, and the supervisors can go over, and the principals can go over that very specific data on the students, get a sense of trends from last year and the year before moving forward. Are there particular domains where we notice students need more support? Last year it was informational text, so we kind of want to see where we're at with that. We also have our Science and Social Studies department working collaboratively to increase the amount of informational reading skills and writing. So there's a lot going on across departments in order to increase student ELA proficiency. If we need to do any remediation, we can use Common Lit as a tool for learning instruction as well as a benchmark. And this year they're going to be focusing, as well as our district goal has a lot to do with teachers identifying data in their class. We want to also get the students goal setting on their data. So then math. Again, the blue line is the state average and the green dots are the Pequannock students who had those questions, how they fared, ordered from most difficult to the least difficult. And I will tell you that this test is mostly, it's half algebra, half geometry, 30 questions. So again, same process. All of these numbers represent percent except for the first, the first three, the second and third columns, those are the scale scores. So same process as ELA. The score changed to 725 in 2023. Still had 151 students take the assessment. Our multilingual learners actually did much better in math than they did in ELA, which actually makes sense depending upon how well they're, how far along they are with the English language. The state average on this is only 736. We were at a 756, so we're still outperforming the state in that zone. And we had 83.4% of our students show graduation ready. So we have a few more students in math that had to do another test. And we actually had several students take the AccuPlacer after this, and then they passed that, and that counts. So we're already, I think we're down to like 2 or 3 students that have to either do the portfolio or take the NJGPA again in the fall and see if they could pass it there. Anything else on this? I don't think so. So again, with some notables, our demographics still outperforming the state average, which I think is great. Again, we have ongoing vertical articulation between our different courses. We're going to be breaking down the data, again, in the geometry and algebra. I can get it right down to how many points each part is worth. So we'll go over that with the teachers and analyze anywhere we need to improve our Tier 1 instruction. And we're still doing Conquer Math. So we have high school teachers attending that as well. So we're excited to keep going with that. Similar to the ELA, we're going to start working with students as early as we can in 9th grade on compiling portfolio items. If we notice that there's a trend where they might have trouble passing the NJGPA in grade 11. The math teams will go over the evidence statements and the heat maps that we'll create based on the data we're pulling together. We really worked on modeling and reasoning tasks, and we think that really is helping across the board from grade 3 up in improving our scores. And we're also looking at final exam data in order to help us get a sense of what we need to adjust for next year's instruction. And one other thing, it is really important to have calculators in hand while you're doing these tests as opposed to trying to use the computer calculator. And we're also using patty paper with our geometry test now, which is transparent paper, if you haven't used it, which is great for doing different things on the coordinate plane. So we're really trying to get more hands-on with the math as much as we can, as much as we're allowed to, which these assessments, because I think it makes a total difference. So next steps, really focusing on a lot of data, a lot of growth, and goal setting. Again, all of this has to do with us taking apart that data, looking it down to the individual students and across the courses, and looking at, are there particular domains or topics where we notice that we need to do a better job of instruction? So just reviewing all those trends. It's really important. Grade 8 maths NJSLA mimics the grade 11 NJGPA very closely. So we're actually looking at that data to see what are the connections there. We're doing a lot of curriculum writing in math this year because we have to approve the 2023 standards by September's board meeting, so we're in the process of doing all that. And again, doing a lot of training with the teachers, not only on Conquer Math, but even in the curriculum writing we've been doing over the last 2 weeks. I've had a bunch of teachers in, mostly grades 3 to 8, but still, when you're doing curriculum writing and you're working with them, we're training them, and it's been amazing. So I got a lot of positive feedback from them, so we'll continue that growth with the high school as well. Any questions on NJGPA? It's looking good. Okay, so access for L's, 2 slides. So overall, we had 37 students from K to 12 have to take the access test. You can see the different languages that our students speak. Overall, for the 37 students, we had an average of about a 3.5. In order for a student to exit the ESL program, they need a 4.5. And then we broke down how many students are at each level. We did have 8 students exit the program in 24-25, and we had 7 students refuse services. Students who refuse services but are eligible still have to take the access test. So of those 37, 7 of them would have not been in the program but still have to take the test. And this chart, which I forgot to put on for you, just shows us the breakdown of, there's 6 different levels on the access test, and you can see where most of our students land right about between 2 and 4 right now, which is great because depending upon what year they're in the program, we want them to move forward. But by the time they hit 4.5, they're exiting. So we don't expect to see a lot of 5s and 6s because they probably exited before they would have shown the proficiency in that. So we want to get them past the 4. So we're moving forward every year. Any question on access? Thank you.
So I know this question comes up a lot with any standardized testing, and we're comparing ourselves to the state. Is there any way to drill down to more comparable schools, more demographic, geographic, similarities versus just blanketing, just saying the state?
It's a good question. The state used to give us they would label schools with a letter, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. They don't do that anymore. So now we can, when the school performance reports come out, we can do that, but that's not until March. So by the time we're hitting that, we're already on to like our next set of testing.
Yeah.
But it's something we possibly could look at to see.
Yeah, I think it's just a gap when we really don't know, our peers.
We want to be like somebody else. We want to see what they're doing.
Yeah,
Thank you.
we could talk about it.
Yeah, and I don't know how many districts are posting their presentations, but I mean, we could do a little surfing on the internet and see what we can find. That's something that we can share. That's not just for you.
And if there's particular districts you're interested in, I think that's another, like we can dig deep and see what we can find in the school performance reports as well, too.
Yeah, and something that I've done in the past is looking at the former district factor groups. We were GH, but looking one level above what we were and then one level below, and just looking for schools or districts of comparable size and see the performance comparisons. Something I like to, when you talk about the data and reasoning and how that was something we focused on, That was something that came out of last year's admin retreat. When we were going through the data presentations at different levels, we realized this was a reoccurring theme. And that's something to Anne Marie's credit. She picked up on it and really ran with it for this school year. And we see the outcomes in that chart, that table that shows how our students were doing on those particular standards. And the standards really are just skills. I mean, they're skills that kids have to be able to demonstrate mastery of. But overall, I'm quite pleased with the results. It was inevitable that our ELA number was going to go down since it was 100% back in 2024. So we slipped a little bit there, but we're looking for perfection, and we're going to keep striving for it.
Thank you. Mr. Gibbs, you have a report?
Yes. Good evening. Tonight's board agenda is the approval of a new SDA grant in the amount of $2.9 million, of which the school will be responsible for $1.7 million. The grant is for new air handlers and some HVAC units for each of the schools. The grant will be budgeted over the next 3 years. Also on tonight's board agenda is the approval of the purchase agreement for the new board office at 494 Newark Pompton Turnpike in the amount of $575,000. There's an acceptance of non-public school nursing funds in the amount of $27,690. These funds will go to non-public schools in the area for nursing, supplies, and services. On July 7th, the resurfacing and striping of the parking lot at the Stephen J. Gerace Elementary School was completed. The fieldwork part of the 2024-25 audit started on Monday, July 7th, and is anticipated to be completed by October 15th. The audit is due to the state by December 15th, 2025. Finally, this is just a reminder for those board members planning on attending the New Jersey School Boards Conference in Atlantic City in October. If you haven't done so, please confirm the dates that you'll be staying at the hotel. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, now move on to approval of the minutes. I'm going to ask Ms. Ikeo to please move the minutes.
I would like to move the minutes from June 23rd, 2025.
Second.
Question or discussion? Mr. Gibbs, please call the roll.
Mr. Bloomer?
Yes.
Mr. Cerisi?
Yes.
Mr. Gittin?
Yes.
Ms. Ikeo?
Yes.
Mr. McSweeney's absent. Mr. Pompeo's absent. Mrs. Shenton's absent. Mrs. Esposito?
Yes.
And Mr. Senek.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, it brings us to the first opportunity for public comment, and there is no public here, so I'm going to move on to approval of the action items. First up is PMC, and I want to ask Mr. Cerisi to please move the items under PMC.
I would like to move PMC 01-26 through PMC 22-26.
Second.
Any question or discussion?
Yeah, I'm just going to, I know this isn't a formal workshop, but I know at each of the workshop meetings I provide a staffing update, so I think it's relevant here. We are currently in search of 2 Spanish teachers. We had 2 who had accepted our offers and then later expressed otherwise. So we see one being rescinded, another one we were able to pull before the agenda went public. So the search continues there, and Dr. O'Keefe is also looking for backup options if we're not able to find someone through the search process. As you know, there's a shortage in the state, and we're doing our best to find people who we could put, who will be effective instructors for our students. We also have posted for a special ed science teacher at the high school. This is another one that's a very difficult find. This falls under the highly qualified umbrella where the person needs a science cert as well as a special ed cert. We do have a staff member who's currently working towards achieving that level. She's not quite there yet. So in the meantime, we're posting for the position, but it's fishing in barren waters. And then we also have a posting for part-time LDTC. This is a difficult position to fill. We're not so sure that there's anybody out there. We had a lead on someone, but they ended up taking their talents to another district. And then we, of course, posted for elementary lunch aides. For anybody who's ever been a lunch aide, it is the single greatest job in the history of humanity. It's fulfilling, it's exciting, it's really more things than I could possibly describe. So if you know someone who might be interested, please spread the word of the most gratifying and outstanding job a person could have, elementary school lunch aide.
All right, Mr. Gibbs, please call the roll.
Mr. Bloomer?
Yes.
Mr. Cerisi?
Yes.
Mr. Gittin?
Yes.
Ms. Ikeo?
Yes.
Mr. McSweeney's absent. Mr. Pompeo's absent. Mrs. Shenton's absent. Mrs. Esposito?
Yes.
And Mr. Senek.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Up next is CIS. Ms. Esposito, would you please move the items under CIS?
Yes, give me 1 second. I'm a little behind today. I would like to move CIS 0-26 through CIS 07-26.
Second.
Question or discussion? Mr. Gibbs, please call the roll.
Mr. Bloomer?
Yes.
Mr. Cerisi?
Yes.
Mr. Gittin?
Yes.
Ms. Ikeo?
Yes.
Mr. McSweeney's absent, Mr. Pompeo's absent, Mrs. Shenton's absent, Mrs. Esposito,
Yes.
and Mr. Stenick.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, up next is FFA. Mr. Bloomer, would you please move the items under FFA?
I'd like to make a motion to move FFA 01-26 through FFA 18-26.
Second.
Any question or discussion? Mr. Gibbs, please call the roll.
Mr. Bloomer?
Yes.
Mr. Cerisi?
Yes.
Mr. Gittin?
Yes.
Ms. Ikeo?
Yes.
Mr. McSweeney's absent, Mr. Pompeo's absent, Mrs. Shenton's absent, Mrs. Esposito,
Yes.
and Mr. Stenick.
Yes.
Motion carries.
I'd like to take a moment just to thank the PTHS Association of Music Parents for their generous donations to the high school.
Okay, and next up is policy, and I'm going to ask Ms. Esposito again to move that item.
Sure, I'd like to move policy P01-26.
Second.
I'm going to give that one to Gittin. Any question or discussion? Mr. Gibbs, please call the roll.
Actually, a
Oh,
couple
go
quick
ahead,
things, sorry. Hi, I'm the human meeting extender. One thing that Mr. McSweeney and I had discussed via email is we are currently putting up for approval our acceptable use of generative artificial intelligence. The policy focuses on AI for students. We did talk about whether we should have something in place for staff, and I don't know that we necessarily need a policy to regulate staff use, but I do think it's good almost as a position statement to say we do support staff using this as it can help create greater efficiency for them, save time, whether it's in providing assessment feedback, planning, a few other things can't be used right now for writing IEPs or anything else that involves sensitive data or information until we get our own internal AI, which is probably not too far down the pike. But I just want to point out that that's something we have discussed. There's been no noise or movement from Strauss on that, but internally we've discussed it. And then the board has access to a living document that I have about policies that we're looking to address. And I just want to point out there are 4 that I'm looking to get finalized in time for the start of the school year. We do have 2 more board meetings before the first day when we have students. And those policies are 2340, which is field trips. We want to tweak something about the transportation language. 2624 is grading system. There are actually a number of changes we want to make there, not the least of which is about the philosophy governing grading. 5430, class rank. I have several issues with the language. I feel like it's not written as clearly as it could be. And 8454, management pediculosis. Pediculosis is lice. Our nursing team had presented a few recommendations and what they believe is best practice. We do have to make sure we follow the law and that we're consistent with serving our community as best we can while also being efficient and effective. So we'll piece that together. So those should be ready for first readings in time for the August meeting.
All right, thank you. Mr. Gibbs, please call the roll.
Mr. Bloomer?
Yes.
Mr. Cerisi?
Yes.
Mr. Gittin?
Yes.
Ms. Ikeo?
Yes.
Mr. McSweeney's absent, Mr. Pompeo's absent, Mrs. Shenton's absent, Mrs. Esposito,
Yes.
and Mr. Stenick.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Mr. Gittin, would you please move other?
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion to move other O-1-26.
Cerisi, second. Question or discussion? Mr. Gibbs, please call the roll.
Mr. Bloomer?
Yes.
Mr. Cerisi?
Yes.
Mr. Gittin?
Yes.
Ms. Ikeo?
Yes.
Mr. McSweeney's absent, Mr. Pompeo's absent, Mrs. Shenton's absent, Mrs. Esposito,
Yes.
and Mr. Stenick.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, that opens it up to the second opportunity for public comment, and again, no one has materialized, so we'll move on to unfinished business. Is there any board member with any unfinished business?
Yeah, real quick. The date of the retreat, what's the attendance going to be? Because I wish we kind of gathered more dates of availability to see if we could find a common day for full attendance.
It's going to be 8 out of 9.
What?
8 out of 9.
he still should have gathered the information, though.
Anybody else? Anybody with new business? Board member announcements? Okay, we do have consideration for executive session where we will discuss contractual matters and personnel matters. No action will be taken. We will adjourn from there. Our next meeting will be August 18th here at the high school, 7 o'clock. Is there a motion to go into executive?
Motion to go in executive.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? Good night, everyone.